Police misconduct, violence, abuse of suspects, even criminal convictions, but the public doesn't know about it. Plus, a Hawaiian language bill for young keiki is making its way through the legislature. These are just some of the stories that our partners at Civil Beat are working on. And joining us live over Skype is reporter Chad Blair. Aloha kakahiaka e kumu, Chad.
Aloha.
That means good morning, Teacher Chad.
Thank you.
We'll get to the Hawaiian language bill in just a moment, but first let's talk about these police disciplinary records. How come the public doesn't know about it?
Well, it was a deal that was made with the pressure of the police union about 13 years ago. The legislature agreed to exempt police disciplinary records from the public viewing. There's been no oversight, and we've actually been able to obtain some of those records. And what we're finding is very disturbing, as you indicated at the beginning. Many serious cases of misconduct, lying, domestic violence, abusing suspects. And what we also found out is that only a handful of these police officers have actually been fired. Most of these guys and women are still on the job.
And this is the result of months of work by Civil Beat, isn't it?
That's right. Nick Ruby and Patty Epler, our editor, have been working on this diligently. It's really quite a very intensive series, very important to the public. It'll be up all week on our site, and I encourage the public to go and read. I think you'll find it quite shocking. We do name some names and locations, and hopefully some change will come out of this. Lawmakers that we've talked to have said that they're considering revisiting those exemptions. There actually is a bill right now to close some of those loopholes.
Certainly some eye-opening investigations there, Chad. Now, Civil Beat also took a look at head injuries, and as we all know, the NFL is looking at this serious issue. But what about here in the islands? What are schools doing about this? Because a lot of parents are worried about their kids getting hurt on the field.
Well, it's really quite shocking. In the last school year, over 900 cases, concussions reported in our public school system. And it's not just football. It's basketball, it's soccer, even cheerleading. These are serious injuries that can cause depression, nausea, difficult to concentrate. The problem is that there's a tendency to make kids, just like adults, be competitive. So if you get injured on the field, folks around you, sometimes the coaches say, get back in there, just brush it off, you'll be fine. In fact, what you ought to do is have that kid go sit down and make sure that they're okay.
And finally, Chad, there's a Hawaiian language bill for keiki at the state legislature. What's this all about?
Well, it turns out that people that grow up, kids in particular, speaking Hawaiian in households, once they enter English-only environments, speaking environments like schools, well, they tend to stop speaking Hawaiian. So the idea behind this bill is to appropriate some money and to encourage public schools, charter schools as well, to continue to speak Hawaiian and to maintain and preserve that culture. That's something that was introduced by Representative Jessica Woolley. It's passed out of committee last week, and it has a hearing tomorrow or later this week. Maybe we'll all be able to say mahalo.
Absolutely, and really know what it means. Mahalo, and thank you, Chad, for joining us this morning.
Ahui ho.
Ahui ho. Well, you can find the complete stories that we just discussed on civilbeat.com. We'll be right back. Plus, Ponzi's Picks and Pans for Oscar Fashions up next as well.